Hi everybody, this is a very quick video. I just thought you'd be curious to see what's inside this Marlin reissue from Timex. This watch actually was brought to me by an associate. It had stopped. I mean, this thing would not tick at all. It was absolutely locked up solid. It's interesting that they used the vintage style snapback, which is a design fixture of vintage Timex watches. I do not like them. I wish they had used a screw back instead. Let's see if I've got this loose enough. And if we look under here, the movement is quite different from your traditional vintage Timex. It is a Chinese movement. It is marked as a 20 jeweled movement, and screws, I'm going to guess that those are lacquered blue. They don't really look like heat treated blue. I would say this movement is okay. I would definitely prefer it over the vintage Timex movements. On one hand, they were built very robustly for its day, but just over time, they get to a point where they just are very finicky. It does have a regulator arm for beat error, and here for the rate. Jewels will help for longevity. Now, it is concerning that this watch had stopped. I didn't do a full disassembly because, you know, it's an inexpensive watch. If it had not restarted, I probably would have taken it apart, just out of curiosity's sake, to be honest. But we did get it going, and so we're not going to disassemble. So this is the click spring for when you wind it. So if is there any room to wind it here, I'll show you. So you can see that click spring. So yeah, that's what clicks when you wind a watch. That winds the mainspring, which is inside this barrel underneath this wheel. When I had pressed through here with some tweezers, it shifted a little bit. And so putting some pressure there and then some pressure on the crown, I did get some movement in the gear train. It took a little coaxing, but it did start ticking. The balance seems okay. This is the balance here. And you can see the escape wheel here ticking. Interesting, those teeth are shaped pretty differently from a traditional escape wheel. I think we're just gonna get this back on his wrist, and hopefully it doesn't give him any more trouble. And if it does, yeah, I'd be curious to take it apart and see how it is to service. It's a pretty watch. I actually had considered getting one of these myself when they first came out, but I have a 1966 myself. I'm gonna flip this back over this way. Pretty much the same watch as you see here, but it has that vintage M24 metal, no jewels. All right, well, I hope that was interesting. Thanks.